were also teenagers at some stage. They understand, they remember.
So when I first, handling that takeover, I'd say very much was, I was very conscious. I was very much aware from my bit of experience that when I was a player, it was different. If a young player stepped up into a team and I was a member of that team, that player would listen to every single word I said. But that relationship, that dynamic changes once they know you're judging them, and know that you have a power over them to pick them or to drop them, or maybe eventually to offer them a contract or not. And I kind of realised that it takes so much more to be so much more sensitive, let alone the fact that they are teenagers at this time. But my first thought was, how do we keep them motivated for the whole year? Because what I'd kind of seen was players come in and the first few weeks they're all excited about being a footballer and they're prepared to do any jobs you ask them to do and clean the boots of the first team and turn up on time. And then come October, there's a few, they actually realise it's really tiring. It's 6 days a week. You can't have, oh, well, your calf's a bit sore, well, run it off. That's your life now. The other teams, they're bigger and stronger. It's older players. They're kind of aware of, right, the first team, now they've seen these first team players up close. They've actually trained with them. And some of them get that, it's like a bombshell. I might not get there. You know, so they walk in the door thinking, I turn up, sign on the dotted line, and I go through this process. In 2 years I'm going to be a footballer, but suddenly they realise actually there's loads of really hard work. So I felt that was the biggest issue. How do you handle those boys that come around funny this time of year? How do they've had a few knocks, how do we get them going again? And I mean, one way I'm trying to deal with it is to maybe have more of a focus on the team and the team spirit, and kind of, if you use your language, it's kind of easier to maybe say to Simon, you know, this is, you need to get better and you need to be stronger there for you, you know, not for you, for the team. Because if we put too much of a focus on them, that they have to be better, I feel it's a bit, well, it adds a little bit of pressure. Whereas if you kind of say, well, listen, for your teammate needs you to get to that ball and do this, and kind of flip it a little bit. I'm hoping that maybe keeps us, helps the motivation keep going throughout the year.
But they're on the same site, aren't they? You're on the same site. So yeah. The first team and the academy and the under-23s are all on the same site. So we're all mixing and seeing everybody all the time. So the next thing, and you know, I'm conscious of the time as well, is about, you know, how. So your job is managing a group of under 18 players, and that. How does that differ from a mixed job, who is managing a group of professionals, and one's the development business and one's in the results business?
Yeah, it's the importance of results. I mean, Mick, the bottom line every Saturday is get 3 points. And how you do that, it doesn't matter. If you can...
Not at the moment. one of these would be nice.
And the answer is anything goes. It's all about the win. It doesn't matter the performance. It doesn't matter if the kids learn anything, or not the kids, if the players learn anything from that game. Because it's a results business. That's, you know, it's completely and utterly focused on the results. So he might spend that week working and training on a certain move, or practicing set plays, or you name it. It'll be all that week will all be geared to the result. We have got to develop players, so our players have to learn something. The result doesn't matter, you know. Being a pro of 20 years, I want to win every game, but you know, I've had to learn that the result doesn't matter. It's the kids taking something from it. So if we're playing in I'm sure we all understand formations. Maybe in a first team, if you're playing a 4-4-2 and it's not working, you might change it straight away. Whereas with us, if we're playing 4-4-2 and it's not working, we've got to make sure the kids understand why it's not working. So you'd let them fail and then talk about it, and make sure they understand why something's working or why it's not working. We might pick teams to give certain players experiences in this position. We might play a player that would weaken the team, play a player out of position that would weaken the team, but it's good for him. So we've got to be prepared to do these things. It might cost us the result, but it's whatever the players learn the most from is the motivation.
And having moved around a lot, you're now involved in the coaching side. So what type of manager do you think you are? And also, over your experiences, what managers stand out to you that you've worked with, that have just given you the confidence as a player and you'd like to emulate?
Yeah, it kind of links into what Graham was saying, is, when you're thinking about how you want to do things, you very often there's people that stand out. And one for me, a positive one, was Joe Royal, who I always felt was in your corner. And I remember he put a lot of faith in me, and I wanted to repay that. I remember once, there's a moment that really stands out massively. It was half time, we were playing Crystal Palace away, and I'd had a bad first half. And a lot of managers at this stage will give you the hairdryer, come in and tell you how you're doing wrong and why you're doing it wrong. And he just looked at me and goes, "That's not the Alan I know." It's a no.
Childlike.
He just went, that's not the Alan. Go and show me the Alan in a second. And I went out that dressing room. So it was such a wonderful way to get the message across. And all I wanted to do, didn't care who was in that stadium, what was going on, I just wanted him. I wanted to show him second half. I had a great second half. And I thought that was a really clever way of dealing with people. So that's one of the people. I mean, I also worked for Neil Warnock, who
everybody else hates, but the players who played under him really like.
Yeah, he has a bit of magic about him, and again, he on the sideline. One thing I don't want is I've played with managers who are just on your case the whole time, from the sideline, pointing out your mistakes.
A small percentage, Graham.
And I never got that. I thought so often it felt like it was the 12th man for them. It was having no good. Neil Warnock would point out your mistakes, but if you did something good, he'd be all over you. And he'd remind you of that. And he got to know his players very well and got to understand what made them tick. And it didn't matter what that was. I mean, for me, it was time back in Suffolk. He'd kind of go, I was living in London, he said, "Listen, you're so much happier when you come in from I was living in Dedham at the time. So he said, listen, from now on, just travel in and back every day." And I was saying, "But it's potentially a 3-hour drive, even for match days." He goes, "Yeah, even for match days." I said, "Well, what if I'm late?" He said, "It's okay, we'll be fine, just phone and tell us you'll be late, it's grand." And so what he did was he took all the pressure. I was never late, but anytime I hit traffic, rather than having this worry, well, I'm going to miss the team, I'm going to get fined, I could just phone up and say I might be late, and he'd go, "Yeah, fine." So that 2-hour car ride didn't turn into added pressure. So I thought he was quite thoughtful and good with how he treated his players.
It's a trust, isn't it? It's a trust. You think back to the managers you played in, and the same in any sport, you have to trust completely the people that you're working with, and then you'll do whatever's taken, isn't it?
Yeah. So probably to answer your question better, if I hope I'm a positive manager. I hope I'm positive with them. I think there's certain boundaries where they step over a line that people have to be told straight, and I think that's honesty. Yeah, I'd like the boys to say about me that they can trust me and I'm positive with them.
Last question. Would you like the manager's job at some stage? The big job, the one with the flashing lights and the big car park space?
And everyone tells me you're meant to have like a 5-6 year plan. and I don't have one. But I keep admitting to that. I don't want to be youth team manager forever. I think I've got loads to learn. I'd love to be capable of doing that, and that would be an ambition of mine, yes.
Okay. Alan Lee, everybody, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. An exclusive there to Donald's showroom, a real fascinating insight into behind the scenes of a football club. My name is Benjamin Grant. I'm the marketing manager here at Donald's and had the pleasure of arranging this event. I know a lot of you are here to see Saskia. Unfortunately, she gave me a call this morning and she's not been well overnight. So from my point of view, this created a bit of a panic. I didn't really want to let many people down. And there was only one person really that could have taken her place. Fresh back from Rio, Olympic gold medalist on the sailing side. The only trouble was at 12 o'clock today she was in Weymouth. But luckily, thankfully here tonight, I'm very pleased to welcome Hannah Mills.
Hello everyone. Firstly, massive thank you to Volvo for having me here. I'm lucky enough to be an ambassador for Volvo and they've supported me in my Olympic campaign for 6 years now, so it's been an amazing partnership and I feel hugely lucky to be able to drive around at the moment in a V90, which I absolutely love, so thank you to Volvo. I'm here to chat to you all about my Olympic experience. I think the guys before me have created a huge insight into sort of the steps along the way to getting where you want to get to. So I'm going to do the nice bit and talk about the end goal, in this case, in my instance, the Olympics. My journey to Rio actually started 4 years ago in London, where Saskia, who was supposed to be here, and myself won a silver medal at the London 2012 Olympics. This was my first Olympics, and probably the coolest thing I've ever done in my life was the Olympic Games in London. You know, Rio was absolutely fantastic, and we won a gold medal, and it was incredible. But the London Olympics, just as a home games, and the support we received from the British public, from you guys, was just absolutely phenomenal. I can't even describe how amazing it was to be a part of that. As you can see, I'm a little bit upset at this point in time, which might be odd because we did win a silver medal. But for me, I was absolutely heartbroken. We went into the final race. For those of you that don't know, sailing regattas in the Olympics consist of 10 races where the whole fleet races together, which is about 20 boats. And the final race, which only the top 10 races, and it's worth double points. So there's a lot riding on it. We went into the final race joint on points with the New Zealand girls, who were so far ahead of the rest of the fleet that we couldn't lose the silver medal. And unfortunately for us, it just didn't quite go our way. For one reason or another, I think the biggest reason was experience and lack of. You know, we'd done what we could as a team leading up to the Olympic Games, but we'd only had 18 months as a partnership, which it does sound like quite a long time, but when you're trying to put together an Olympic campaign to win a gold medal, it really isn't very long. Alongside that, having to just get selected for the Olympic Games along the way is quite a challenge. So, yeah, we won a silver medal, and I was heartbroken, which was really hard to deal with because everyone else around me was like, woohoo, you've won a silver medal, this is awesome. And yeah, it was awesome, don't get me wrong. I mean, standing on the podium, the boys there are the boys that sail the 470, separate fleets, but they won a silver medal as well, and they're some of my best friends. So to do it all together and get silver medals was awesome, but for me, my dream has always been an Olympic gold medal, standing on top of that podium with the national anthem playing, because you've won, you're the best in the world at what you do, and that was always my dream. So my journey to Rio really started from that moment there on, where all I wanted to do was make the change and make sure that Saskia and myself were on top of that podium next time round. I'm just actually going to start passing around medal now as we go, just because we're running out of time.
I feel very brave.
I want everyone to have a go, please don't run off with it. I'm really sad if we can't get a replacement. It's quite heavy, but yeah, just pass it around and have a look. So Rio, it was a tough old venue. We spent about 150 days there over about 3 years. As you can see, I don't know if you can quite see, but the water was disgusting. The news and the reporters, commentators on it all the time. We had to say, oh, it's not that bad, it's fine, we just go and sail and get on with what we want to do. But it was disgusting. We saw TVs, we saw massive crates floating around. We're trying to race here, we're trying to learn about the race courses and the tides and the wind, and at the same time you have to dodge all these horrible things and try not to get sick, which was a problem. People did get sick, and that was a big concern at the Olympics, how to minimise the risk of getting ill, because nobody wants a medal to be won or lost on someone getting ill. So yeah, debris-wise and sort of illness-wise, Rio was a challenge, but also just out and about in Rio was scary. It is a big city, and there's a big rich-poor divide in the city. It is sort of classified probably as third world, so it is a tough place to be. We're very sheltered here in what we experience, and I haven't travelled that much to those sorts of countries, so it was a bit of an eye-opener. Saskia and I did get mugged sort of 2 years ago while we were out there, and that put a little bit of a taint on Rio for us in terms of just feeling at home and feeling comfortable there. But we did have an Olympic Games there, so we had to feel comfortable there because our Olympic Games trip was 5 weeks long with the Olympics at the end of it, so we couldn't burn out. We couldn't get to week 4 and go, okay, I've had enough, and go home. We missed our competition, so we had to get comfortable. And as a British sailing team, they did a tremendous job. It was absolutely top notch. Like the accommodation we stayed in was great accommodation. But what they did do was create an atmosphere where, as a British sailing team, we could relax, we could enjoy the Olympics. You can see we watched a lot of Olympics on TV in our downtime. We had a table tennis table, table football table with puzzles, with all sorts of things to do. And they put a lot of time and effort into making sure it felt like home from home, which was a really important thing when you're out there for so long. This is our athlete container. We've got a horrible picture of me on the wall, just there. Lovely. This is our athlete container. It's on site at the sailing venue. That's where we all chilled out sort of before sailing. We got our food and drink prepared there for us, so we could take on the water. We had a TV feed, so we could watch some of the racing if we wanted to. And this was just another sort of thing they did to make us feel as comfortable as possible, and just to get the edge on our competitors. A lot of other teams had containers, but they were just nothing like our container. They thought of absolutely every detail. So as I said, our Olympic trip was 5 weeks long, and being in Rio for 5 weeks, waiting and preparing for your moment on the Olympic stage, you have to be really careful just to not burn out and get yourself sort of just over it before it even began. And we've experienced that with events before where you've had enough by day 1, and that obviously can't happen. So what we do as a team is sort of 2 weeks, it's about a week before our Olympic competition started, we went down the coast about 2 hours for 2 days where the whole team came. This is the sailing team. The whole team came and we just switched off. We didn't think about all the tiny details we were trying to get right, our fitness, every single thing you're trying to get right was constantly going through your head. We put it to bed 2 days. We bonded as a team, we played volleyball, we did paddleboard racing, we went out to one of those islands on a boat and made bonfires. We just did random stuff, And for us, that was so important. Saskia and myself as a team, that's something we really, really valued, was just that switch off before we come back to the Olympic venue and really start to prepare. It's that separation between preparation and game on. This is happening now. Let's make it happen for ourselves. I love the opening ceremony. Just touch on that. That was I didn't go to the opening ceremony in Rio for one reason or another. I gained a bit of an injury on our volleyball court. Landed on by my boyfriend. We were both diving for the same shot, and obviously see my ball. He took me out and squashed my ankle, which was not great 5 days before, or the week before your Olympic competition starts. But that was one of the many things Sass and I had to overcome, which I'll touch on in a minute. So yeah, we chose not to go to the opening ceremony because it is 5 hours standing around, waiting in queues, waiting to get there, just to walk into the stadium. And we did do it in London, and that was the best feeling in the whole. You guys must have experienced it so much walking into a football pitch, but you know, for us as sailors, walking into a stadium with 100,000 people just going wild was fantastic, and I will never forget that feeling of emotion that definitely crept up within me. Yeah, so we chose not to go in Rio. Yeah, so the build-up, our 5-day build-up after the holding camp was pretty disastrous, to be quite honest with you. I obviously got my ankle injury, which meant 2 days sort of not sailing. I then picked up a virus, don't know what from, which was another couple of days not sailing. So poor old Sass had to prepare the boat, had to get it through measurement along with our coach Joe, and do all the little bits that we'd normally do as a team, herself and with our coach. You know, we hadn't sailed for 4 or 5 days, and it should have been really stressful because you know, you want everything to go right in the build-up to such a big competition, but actually all the preparation had been done. You know, we'd spent 3 years preparing for this 1 week, and yeah, we had our setbacks along the way, but we overcome them, and we learnt the lessons, and we knew exactly how we needed to turn up on day one. You know, we knew the right mental state we needed to be in, we knew how the boat had to be prepared, we knew exactly how long we needed to launch before the first start. We knew everything, we just knew it. And so actually, the only thing I could do was sit in bed and get better, and actually going down to the boat park, going for a little sail, that wasn't going to make any difference. And as you guys mentioned, you know, the trust in our team and that this was the right thing to do was so crucial at this point in time. I think a lot of teams could have fallen apart because it is stressful. I'm sat at home feeling rubbish. We don't know if I'm going to be better by day one. Sass is just getting on, doing all the stuff that has to be done. And she knows that I will be there on day one, whether I'm ill or not, in the best possible state that I can be. So that was it, game on. Day one, I still felt pretty rubbish, but we'd experienced this before. One way or another, Sass has had a couple of operations in the cycle, and we turned up to events not underprepared, but just not as sharp as we'd like to be on the water. So day one, I was feeling a little bit rubbish, but we'd already discussed it, and we knew that we'd launch an hour before the start, we'd get out to the start line, and that was it. I'd be in the zone. However I felt, I just made the effort to be as communicative as I possibly could be. Because actually, in sailing, that's what it comes down to as a team. It's communication, and it's getting the best from each other, however you're personally feeling. So I knew I had to just up my game. I had to be as good as I could be. For Sass, you can stay on the Olympics and you're not feeling good in your tummy. You want to throw up all the food you've tried to eat. You know, you're nervous. Who's experienced that feeling before? Whether it's before a sports day, before an exam. You know, it's just nervous tummy, and I think wherever you are, you get it to some extent. And as an athlete, it's how you deal with that, you know. And for me, I knew if I got that feeling, it was fine. It meant I was ready. It meant I knew it was the Olympic Games, and I knew I was there to perform. And if I just do every single detail of my routine before the start, before the race, I knew we'd be in a good place to get a good result. And that's the hardest thing. I think a lot of people get distracted by that feeling, oh, I feel sick, oh, I don't want to do this. Oh, you don't focus on that. You focus on every tiny detail, every second that you have to get through before the start gun goes. And that's what we always focused on as a team. So the Olympic Games racing, it was 5 days long. It was supposed to be 5 days long. We had the 10 races within those days, and we had some of the most wild conditions I've ever sailed in, which is not ideal at your Olympic Games. You kind of just want your normal conditions, but yeah, you can see there that the waves are pretty huge. It was seriously windy, and everyone was pretty stunned. Rio was down as being a light wind venue, so not particularly windy. And there we are on day 2, and it was 25 knots and huge waves. And Sass and I got off to an alright start. We had 2 really good races on day 1 that were not standout, but they were counted. Day 2, we won the first race in the breeze. We had one more race to go, and we were like, okay, we've got good boat speed. You know, this is good. We've just got to get off the start line. We got off the start line. We were winning the race, going down the final leg towards the finish, and we had the New Zealand girls, the very same pair that beat us to the gold in London, coming up behind us. And I lost my focus for 1 second, concentrating on what they were doing, and we flipped over and we capsized. And yeah, it's quite a funny split-second moment, you feel, when you're leading a race at the Olympic Games, and in a matter of a split second, you're upside down in the water, and you can see the whole fleet coming towards you. And yeah, you think we might just explode and shout at each other and blame, but that was not what our team was about. You know, we both knew it was probably my fault, but we also both knew that it doesn't matter. As you guys said, it doesn't matter. Oh no, it was Graham. Graham. It was about solving the problem. You know, getting that boat up as fast as we possibly could to finish the race and hopefully get a counting result. And we did that without a faff. We got it up, we finished the race, and we got 6th, which out of 20 boats in a tricky venue like Rio is actually a very good countable result. So we went in that day a little bit disappointed, but overall, we got 1st and 6th, and we were right in there. I think we were in about 3rd place at that point, right at the tail of the leaders. So the week went on, and we sort of relaxed into it a little bit. We got to the final day. We had 3 races this day, and we were in a good place. We were leading going into that day, and we just came out firing. This was it for us. We'd come here to win the Olympic Games, and we'd not lost it at this point. We were still in the hunt, and this was our day to attack. So really, really just lay it down to everyone and show why we were there. And we did. We came out absolutely firing. We got a 3-2-1 or something that day, 3-2-2, which was by far the best day of our country mile. And we were 20 points ahead, which points-wise meant if all we had to do was finish that final medal race, and we won the gold medal. So yeah, we were super, super happy, as you can see in the faces. Our coach Joe was hiding in the background, had done the maths for me before the last race, so I knew what we had to do. And going down the final leg, I was like, just don't. And across the line, I was like, oh, I hope Joe's maths is right. And it was. So yeah, we had a mini celebration. We went a bit wild for about 5 minutes. We got on a press boat, and they put some music on for us, and we danced like lunatics. And just all that emotion just flooded out of us. It was sort of 4 years since London, and the pain and the heartbreak of coming second. And yeah, it just was the most surreal feeling and the most amazing feeling. And then we had to wait. We had to wait to get our gold medal. We were desperate to do this final medal race and get it done just so we could stand on top of that podium. But there was no wind the next day, absolutely zero. We sat on the mountain for 3 hours. Stupidly, we'd only taken 500 millilitres off the water each, because we thought we'd be out, do the race, come back in, woo, celebrate. No. We sat out there in our wetsuits, sweating away, getting severely dehydrated and very bored, as you can see there. But patience is a virtue, and good things come to those who wait, as they say. So this was the next day. We had amazing wind conditions. This is my mum. She came all the way to Rio to support me, and there's some other people and some random Brazilians that just joined in the party. We're having a good time. So they came and joined in the celebrations. But yeah, we sailed straight up the beach. I don't know how many of you saw, not just on TV, but yeah, we sailed straight up the beach because all I wanted to do at that point was see my mum and celebrate with her. And she's really been there the whole time for me. And I think as kids, as some in the room, you sort of don't appreciate what your parents do for you growing up, and you just sort of take it for granted that they trail around the country, taking you to sailing events or taking you to clubs, and yeah, she's just been there the whole way, so to share it with her was incredible. And yeah, that was our so these are the Kiwi girls that beat us in London, and we've had an amazing rivalry with them the past 4 years, tit for tat the whole time, so yeah, to get the best of them when it really counted for us was amazing. And you can see the back just Sugarloaf Mountain up there. Yeah, it's quite an incredible place to sail. And yeah, you can sort of see the emotion now on our faces. It's just the absolute world. I really can't even describe it to you. I think the picture probably does it more justice. And that's the three of us. That's our coach Joe in the middle there. He's won 2 silver medals in his own right in Athens and Beijing. And he's been just a fantastic support to us the whole way through, you know, breaking down the areas that we maybe didn't see needed breaking down, and just getting the best out of us when it counts. So yeah, we've had a fantastic journey, culminating with the gold medal. There's been many lessons along the way, but I was very conscious of time, so I just wanted to take you through sort of the best bit at the end. But yeah, any questions sort of afterwards or now, please feel free to ask, because I've learned a lot of things on my journey, as I'm sure we all have with the different things we do, but I'd be very willing to answer any questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you ever so much, Hannah, and thank you ever so much for taking the 5-hour journey to get here tonight. That's absolutely fantastic. What you've done for the country was just fantastic as well. This is an opportunity for anyone, if you've got any questions that you want to ask our speakers. Anyone?
Thanks, Hannah. You've got a saving statue, aren't you?
She's retired,
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. I was intrigued to listen to these guys chat on sort of transitioning, and I think I will go to Tokyo, but I'm going to take sort of 6 months to try some different things in life. I'm going to do a bit of work experience in marketing and accountancy. 2 very different things, but I just wanted to see what's out there and see
The
what's
same
out
boat or different boat?
Undecided, because they haven't selected the boats yet for Tokyo.
Alan and Simon talked a bit about the role of the leader on the pitch. I'm just interested, with only 2 of you in the boat, as the helm, are you the de facto leader in decision making?
Yes.
Or how does it work?
Yeah, it works very differently, I think, for different teams. The way Saskia and I do it is quite a shared role. I ultimately have the final say because I have the stick, and if I decide I want to go somewhere, we're going there. But you know, Saskia's constantly feeding me the information. Sailing is a very complex sport, all sorts going on all the time. It's a lot about risk management and strategy, a bit like a game of chess. On the other boats, and placement on the other boats. So Saskia's constantly feeding me the information, which allows me to make the final decision. And I think that's how it works best for our team. So yeah, that's how we've evolved to do it.
Why did you choose sailing?
That's a good question. I loved all sports as a kid. I loved tennis, I loved swimming, I loved gymnastics, so I'm very unflexible, so it's lucky I didn't pursue that. And I was always quite competitive. And I went on a family holiday and we went sailing. None of my family sailed, but my brothers and I went on a little sailing course and I just loved it. It was the coolest thing, you know, you're out on the water, you're away from your mum and dad, you're sailing a boat on your own or with somebody else, you're learning some amazing life skills, you know, confidence and just that feeling I just absolutely loved, the freedom. So we came back to Cardiff, where I'm from, and my parents luckily let me carry on. I went to a local sailing club and just did some courses, and then at some point along the line I made the connection that sailing was in the Olympics, and I'd watched the Olympics at about 7 or 8 years old and saw Roger Black win his silver medal. And from that point on, that was it. That was where I wanted to go. And to realise that sailing could lead me there was just an amazing moment for me in my life. And that's sort of when I knew what I wanted to do.
How often do you train a week?
Right now, not very often. Although I did do the Great South Run last weekend, which was 10 miles, just really a long way for me.